Christopher Nolan is one of the most famous directors in history. His works continue to inspire many. Nolan is absolutely fascinated by time and space. He loves to bend and twist these concepts like clay, the concepts we are so accustomed to. But while bending them, he asks what the implications are. What happens if time can go backwards? What would happen if a child ages faster than their parent? These questions are what engages us. They make us think differently about something that at first seems so simple to understand. The two main films from Nolan's body of work I'll be talking about are 2014's Interstellar and 1997's Doodlebug. The latter being his first, as well as his shortest. It is only 3 minutes compared to Interstellar's 3-hour runtime. What is conveyed and what can be conveyed in such timeframes varies wildly. Doodlebug is a story about a mystery. Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis inspires it. Kafka's story depicts a man morphing into a large bug and having to adapt to life. Nolan's story portrays a man hunting down a small creature scuttling around his apartment, only to find that the creature is just a smaller version of himself. In a short film, he is merely raising the question, giving the audience something to wonder about. In feature-length movies, Nolan brings up a question and then searches for the answer. The screenplay for Interstellar was first written in 2007, when environmentalism was first beginning to have large-scale action and discussion. The EU had declared that they intend to cut their emissions by 20% by 2020. The Bush administration in the US tried its best to prevent oil subsidies from going towards renewable sources, leading to large-scale backlash. The fear of what would happen if we do nothing is what inspired the ruined Earth of 2067 shown in the film. A world where climate change is raging far worse than today and schools claim the moon landing never happened. This is also reflected in the modern conflict of space travel today. Today we question whether we should be looking for other planets or focusing more on Earth. To find the answer, the protagonist of the story, Cooper, goes on a space mission to find new worlds for a recently discovered wormhole. The wormhole leads to a system of worlds orbiting a black hole, showing a vast world inspired by Metropolis, Star Wars, Blade Runner, as well as Alien. Some planets experience large amounts of time dilation. This contrasts with Cooper's goal of returning to Earth as quickly as possible. He must balance his objectives. This balance is key to finding the answer to the film. Nolan may explore the question, but he expects the viewers to find the answer on their own. Doodlebug focuses itself on the relationship between humans and high beings. The characters are presented as predecessors to these high beings. The larger person shown at the end of Doodlebug is an example of this. It's a loop of people who have been squished in a morbid cycle of killing, and Interstellar, on the other hand, takes a similar concept but uses it differently. They are exploring how the future humans are assisting the present humans. For example, these future humans create a fourth-dimensional plane in a three-dimensional space for Cooper.
Every moment, it's infinitely complex. They have access to infinite time and space, but they're not bound by anything. They can't find a specific place in time. They can't communicate. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna find a way to tell Murph, just like I found this moment.
How, Cooper?
The love, Tars, love. It's just like Gran said. My connection with Murph, it is quantifiable. It's the key.
What are we here to do?
Find out, tell her. Did it work?
I think it might have.
How do you know?
Because the bulk beams are closing the Tesseract.
Don't you get it yet, Tars? They're not beings. They're us. What I've been doing for Murph, they're doing for me. For all of us.
Cooper, people couldn't build this.
No, not yet. But one day. Not you and me, but a people. A civilization that's evolved past the 4 dimensions we know.
Another similarity is the lingering of a clock. In Interstellar, it is used to show the changes in time between worlds and remind the audience of the risk, which adds tension. In Doodlebug, a clock lingers to show the fear and desperation of finding the creature. Interstellar was critically acclaimed and received very well with the public, being praised for its emotional moments and beautiful worlds. Nolan is very proud that there were no green screens used during filming. When creating the black hole, instead of using a concept artist, his team went to a physicist to give them the calculations to create a black hole. This created a whole new understanding in the scientific community. Intuitively, physicists knew that the accretion disk was warped, but never had seen it visualized. In Interstellar, it was less common, but it still had the common Nolan complaint of having too much dialogue, as well as some of that dialogue not being audible due to the music playing over the top. Sadly, Nolan has stated to only care about high-end cinemas like IMAX. Doodlebug at the time in 1997 had a positive response. Being his first film, the audience wasn't as large as it would be today. In 2021, it is looked back at his first film where critics study closely to find what core elements and techniques were in his earlier work. Examples of this include his lighting, the use of wide or distorted lenses to skew the image, and methods of creating tension. Nolan is a filmmaker always willing to try and create something new, willing to explore a new concept or method. His aspiration for practical filmmaking sets the standard for realistic-looking films. Nolan continues to inspire new generations of filmmakers, aspiring for the highest quality product possible.